An entitled billionaire ruined my honeymoon, so I ruined his life. For our honeymoon, we were staying at this exclusive beachfront resort in the Maldives, the kind where dinner costs more than most people's rent. We'd saved for 3 years to afford 5 nights there. I was sitting poolside when I heard screaming from the beach bar. A middle-aged man in a Rolex and designer swim trunks was absolutely destroying a young server who couldn't have been older than 20. "You absolute moron," he screamed at her face. "I specifically said no ice in my martini, and what do I find floating in here like little frozen turds? Ice?" The girl was shaking, tears streaming down her face as she stammered an apology. "Sir, I'm so sorry, I can remake it right away." He grabbed the glass and hurled the entire drink at her, soaking her uniform with gin and olive juice. "Don't you dare speak to me, you worthless peasant. You're probably too stupid to spell martini, let alone make one." I looked around for resort staff, expecting immediate intervention. Instead, I saw the resort manager standing nearby, watching with amused tolerance. "Excuse me," I called out. "This man just assaulted your employee and destroyed her uniform." She walked over slowly. "That is Sir Reginald," she said, "not his real name, and he's one of our most valued guests. He owns 3 properties here and brings his yacht every season. I'm sure there was just a misunderstanding." Sir Reginald turned his rage toward another server. "And you, what are you staring at? Bring me a new martini, and if there's even a molecule of ice in it, I'll have you deported back to whatever third world hellhole you crawled out of. You people are like trained monkeys, except without the training." The manager didn't intervene as he continued berating the staff. The second server tried to back away, but Sir Reginald grabbed her wrist. "Did I dismiss you? You don't walk away from me until I'm finished with you." "Ma'am," I said to the manager, "your guest is physically restraining and verbally abusing your employees. This isn't acceptable anywhere." The manager sighed dramatically. "Sir Reginald has an annual membership here. He's not just some weekly guest," she said, like that made me slime on the bottom of her shoe. "If you can't appreciate that our VIP guests have high standards, perhaps you'd be more comfortable at a different type of establishment." Something snapped inside me. I pulled out my phone and started documenting everything while he continued calling the bartender a brain-dead waste of oxygen. The manager rushed over and grabbed my wrist. "Photography of our guests without consent is strictly prohibited. Our privacy policies are very clear." I yanked my arm away. "Your guest is committing assault and harassment, and you're worried about privacy policies?" Sir Reginald walked over, finally releasing the server's wrist. "Listen here, you little tourist," he said to me. "I could buy and sell you 10 times over. I own half the businesses in Monaco and have lawyers who would destroy your pathetic little life for sport. You'll delete those photos right now or face consequences you can't imagine." The manager nodded eagerly. "Sir Reginald raises millions for local children through his charity galas. I suggest you apologize and delete everything before this escalates." But I wasn't backing down. "Your money doesn't make you royalty, and your charity work doesn't erase the fact that you're a grown man having a meltdown because your drink had ice in it." His face turned purple with rage. Within minutes, resort security surrounded me instead of him. The manager informed me I was being escorted to my quarters for disturbing their valued guest. As they escorted me out, I could hear Sir Reginald telling everyone I was clearly unstable and jealous of successful people. But here's what the manager didn't know. My husband is a labor attorney who specializes in workplace harassment cases, and he'd been quietly documenting everything from our balcony. By the time I reached our room, he was already filing formal complaints with the local labor board on behalf of every staff member we'd witnessed being abused. What we discovered was that Sir Reginald had been terrorizing resort employees for years. Several had quit without filing complaints because they needed references and couldn't afford legal representation. My husband offered to represent them all pro bono. By the time we were flying home, we had a dozen current and former employees willing to testify about Sir Reginald's pattern of abuse and intimidation. The labor board launched a full investigation. The case was airtight with security footage, witness statements, and my photos. Sir Reginald was banned from the resort permanently and faced massive civil penalties. The manager was fired and blacklisted from the hospitality industry. The resort's parent company, terrified of liability exposure, gave every affected employee substantial settlements plus glowing references. The young server who'd been crying, she used her settlement to enroll in hospitality management school and now manages her own boutique hotel. Sir Reginald's yacht was repossessed 6 months later when his business partners learned about his behavior and pulled their investments. Turns out investors don't like being associated with men who throw drinks at teenage girls.